Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramakrishna. Letters of Swami Vivekananda. Arise, awake, onward. I only tell you this, that whoever reads this letter will imbibe my spirit. Have faith, onward. Swami Vivekananda. Letter number 62, continued. It is not true that I am against any religion. It is equally untrue that I am hostile to the Christian missionaries in India. But I protest against certain of their methods of raising money in America. What is meant by those pictures in the school books for children, where the Hindu mother is painted as throwing her children to the crocodiles in the Ganga? The mother is black, but the baby is painted white to arouse more sympathy and get more money. What is meant by those pictures which paint a man burning his wife at a stake with his own hand so that she may become a ghost and torment the husband's enemy? What is meant by the pictures of huge cars crushing over human beings? The other day, a book was published for children in this country where one of these gentlemen tells a narrative of his visit to Calcutta. He says he saw a car running over fanatics in the streets of Calcutta. I've heard one of these gentlemen preach in Memphis that in every village of India there is a pond full of the bones of little babies. What have the Hindus done to these disciples of Christ that every Christian child is taught to call the Hindus vile and wretches and the most horrible devils on earth? Part of the Sunday school education for children here consists in teaching them to hate everybody who is not a Christian, and the Hindus especially, so that from their very childhood they may subscribe their pennies to the missions. If not for truth's sake, for the sake of the morality of their own children, the Christian missionaries ought not to allow such things going on. Is it any wonder that such children grow up to be ruthless and cruel men and women? The greater a preacher can paint the tortures of eternal hell, the fire that is burning there, the brimstone, the higher is his position among the orthodox. A servant girl in the employ of a friend of mine had to be sent to a lunatic asylum as a result of attending what they call here the revivalist preaching. The dose of hellfire and brimstone was too much for her. Look again at the books published in Madras against the Hindu religion. If a Hindu writes one such line against the Christian religion, the missionaries will cry fire and vengeance. My countrymen, I have been more than a year in this country. I have seen almost every corner of the society, and after comparing notes, let me tell you that neither are we devils, as the missionaries tell the world we are, nor are they angels, as they claim to be. The less the missionaries talk of immorality, infanticide, and the evils of the Hindu marriage system, the better for them. There may be actual pictures of some countries before which all the imaginary missionary pictures of the Hindu society will fade away into light. But my mission in life is not to be a paid reviler. I will be the last man to claim perfection for the Hindu society. No man is more conscious of the defects that are therein or the evils that have grown up under centuries of misfortunes. If foreign friends you come with genuine sympathy to help and not to destroy, Godspeed to you. But if by abuses incessantly hurled against the head of a prostrate race, in season and out of season, you mean only the triumphant assertion of the moral superiority of your own nation, let me tell you plainly, if such a comparison be instituted with any amount of justice, the Hindu will be found head and shoulders above all other nations in the world as a moral race. In India, religion was never shackled. No man was ever challenged in the selection of his Ishtadevata, or his sect, or his preceptor, and religion grew as it grew nowhere else. On the other hand, a fixed point was necessary to allow This infinite variation to religion and society was chosen as that point in India. As a result, society became rigid and almost immovable, for liberty is the only condition of growth. On the other hand, in the West, the field of variation was society and the constant point was religion. Conformity was the watchword and even now is the watchword of European religion, and each new departure had to gain the least advantage only by wading through a river of blood. The result is a splendid social organization with a religion that never rose beyond the grossest materialistic conceptions. Today the West is awakening to its wants, and the true self of man and spirit is the watchword of the advanced school of Western theologians. The student of Sanskrit philosophy knows where the wind is blowing from, but it matters not whence the power comes, so long as it brings new life. In India, new circumstances at the same time are persistently demanding a new adjustment of social organizations. For the last 3/4 of a century, India has been bubbling over with reform societies and reformers, but alas, every one of them has proved a failure. They did not know the secret. They had not learned the great lesson to be learned. In their haste, they laid all the evils in our society at the door of religion, and, like the man in the story, wanting to kill the mosquito that sat on a friend's forehead, they were trying to deal such heavy blows as would have killed man and mosquito together. But in this case, fortunately, they only dashed themselves against immovable rocks and were crushed out of existence in the shock of recoil. Glory unto those noble and unselfish souls who have struggled and failed in their misdirected attempts. Those galvanic shocks of reformatory zeal were necessary to rouse the sleeping Leviathan. But they were entirely destructive and not constructive, and as such they were mortal and therefore dead. Let us bless them and profit by their experience. They had not learned the lesson that all is a growth from inside out, that all evolution is only a manifestation of a preceding evolution. They did not know that the seed can only assimilate the surrounding elements, but grows a tree in its own nature. Until all the Hindu race becomes extinct and a new race takes possession of the land, such a thing can never be. Try east or west, India can never be Europe until she dies. And will she die? This old mother of all that is noble, moral or spiritual, the land which the sages trod, the land in which godlike men still live and breathe. I will borrow the lantern of the Athenian sage and follow you, my brother, through the cities and villages, plains and forests of this broad world. Show me such men in other lands if you can. Truly have they said, the tree is known by its fruits. Go under every mango tree in India. Pick up bushels of the worm-eaten, unripe fallen ones from the ground, and write hundreds of the most learned volumes on each one of them. Still you have not described a single mango. Pluck a luscious, full-grown, juicy one from the tree, and now you have known all that the mango is. To be continued. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.